3:28 a.m.
Hello everyone, it's Kevin with Lazy Alien here, and today I'm starting something new. I'm trying something a little more serious, instead of all the funny crap we usually do. This is a new vlog series I'm going to do called 3:28 a.m. Appropriately enough, I am filming at night when I can't sleep and my eyes are all red from staring at a screen. And this is a blog about all the feels, all of the problems that I feel my generation's kind of stuck with these days. That ranges from mental health problems like depression and anxiety, which are two things I deal with, insomnia, financial struggles, motivation problems, all of those sorts of things. So this first episode I've decided to do about depression. Nice lively topic, don't you think? So depression's something I've been dealing with pretty well as long as I can remember. Since I was a teenager, at least, I've had this issue of just occasionally getting incredibly sad for no real reason, and that's the key to it. That's kind of recognizing the difference between being sad and being depressed. The way I defined it, it's kind of a modification of something that a friend of mine said once. Being sad is waking up on a bad day and feeling bad. Depression is waking up on a good day and feeling bad. It's really, really not fun, as I'm sure lots of people know, because plenty of people deal with this every day. It's a never-ending battle, really, to not fall into it. How it feels to fall into a depression is just maddening, really. There's a really good film called Prozac Nation about Elizabeth Wurtzel, who was a journalist in the 80s who dealt with depression and was one of the first people to kind of write and talk about it very openly. It's not a perfect film by any means, but it described a lot of things very well. One of those things was what it feels like to fall into a depression.
Hemingway has this classic moment in The Sun Also Rises when someone asks Mike Campbell how he went bankrupt. All he can say is, gradually, then suddenly. That's how depression hits. You wake up one morning afraid that you're going to live.
That's how it feels to fall into a depression, and that's entirely accurate. It creeps up on you and creeps up on you and creeps up on you, and then one morning you wake up and you just hate everything. You don't want to open your eyes, you don't want to get out of bed, you don't feel any motivation to do anything. And that can last anywhere from a day to weeks. That's something Prozac Nation captured really well as well, is the kind of manic nature of it, how you can just fall into a depression and get obsessed either with the depression or with something else and just center your whole life around that, and nobody can get in and nobody can talk to you, and it's horrible.
Springsteen's with his garage mechanic poet, the music billows from his insides. And out comes the struggles of the world with the knowledge that comes with some perfect connection to the divine. It's like he feels.
And yeah, like I said, it can last anywhere from a day to weeks to probably longer. It usually, for me, hasn't lasted more than probably a couple weeks, but I know for some people it can last a lot longer. And the worst thing is sometimes nothing can fix it. Literally nothing can help. You just need to be trapped inside your brain for a little while and kind of sort through whatever crap is on your mind until you reach a logical conclusion. And that's all it is nobody can get in, nobody can help you, nothing you can do can help except to just be in that inside place and be thinking about it. Nothing even needs to set it off. That's the weird thing. Sometimes it'll be set off by nothing at all. Sometimes it'll be set off by the tiniest trivial thing, something that somebody said to you and you know they didn't mean to hurt you, but it got trapped in your brain and it won't get out. and it spirals, it snowballs. You start thinking about bigger concepts and bigger things, and before you know it, you're trapped. I guess one thing that can help some people is antidepressants. I tried them on 2 different occasions, and they sort of worked. I felt a little better. It takes time for them to take effect, but I thought I was starting to feel something, but at the same time I was feeling some side effects that weren't so great. And I did a very not smart thing. Don't do this, kids. I stopped taking it and just didn't tell my doctor or do anything about it. I just stopped taking it. Don't do that. Stay on it until you can talk to your doctor, and they'll tell you, okay, we'll wean you off of it and put you on something else, or we'll try some other method. But don't just stop. That's what I did twice, and it's not a smart strategy. For me, the most valuable thing that I have to help me through my depression is people. And that's kind of a two-sided coin, because people can really help and people can really make it worse if they don't understand what's wrong with you. I'll get a little personal and tell a story. I won't name any names, but I remember one night when I was really, really struggling not to fall into a depression. I went to a concert with some friends, just a small local show, and the girl I was dating at the time, she was in a particularly good mood, and I obviously wasn't. And she kept trying to talk to me and ask me what was wrong. And the thing about depression is you can't always tell people what's wrong. There isn't always anything to tell. It's just, I'm just depressed. And she didn't understand that. She didn't accept that. She got angry with me and gave me the silent treatment the whole night, which doesn't help anybody. It didn't help me feel better. It didn't help her feel better. It didn't help the situation. It wasn't the right way to react. And that kind of behavior really just makes everything worse. If someone's depressed and they can't tell you why, don't get angry with them. Just say, okay, what can I do to help? Because there's usually one of 2 things you can do to help. Just be there for them, listen to them, sympathize with them, hug them if that's what they want, or leave them alone. It kind of depends on the person and the situation, what's got them depressed, what kind of stage they're at in their depression. But that's the 2 things you can do, is just be by their side or don't, depending on what's going to help them at the time.
This is important.
Lizzie, it's not as important as your health. All right, you gotta get some sleep.
Will you just off? I just have to finish this.
Is it because I haven't come to see you?
No, Mom.
I thought all this was behind us. Then I get a phone call to come.
Well, this has nothing to do with you.
The other thing that's really, really frustrating with depression is that it ruins your motivation. It really screws with your ability to want to do anything. When I'm in the middle of depression, like, dirty dishes build up around me. I don't do any laundry. I don't shave or do anything to care for myself. I just kind of drag myself through the day because I'm just waiting until I can go to bed and forget about things for X amount of hours. I'm a writer, so it kind of screws with that. It makes me unable to write anything or think about anything to write about. Bigger goals completely fall by the wayside. You don't have any. If you had some kind of schedule of some way to improve your life, then that just completely collapses in the middle of a depression. It's a kind of spiral of nothingness. My biggest frustration with depression is dealing with that aspect of it. Another aspect of depression is hiding it. I've kind of gotten good at that, and that's scary and frustrating, and I don't like that I've gotten good at it, because sometimes I need people, and if I'm doing that thing that I do where I try and hide my depression, where I try and keep it inside myself and hope that it'll go away, and in fact I need people, then I end up pushing people away without even realizing it, just because I'm hiding it, because I'm putting on a happy face so nobody pays any attention. And sometimes I need them too, so I kind of screw up in that regard. So what do I do to try to help myself now? Now, like I said, people are the most important thing to me. People who get it are my most valuable asset. I seek out the people I love and who love me, and the people who understand. and I tell them this is how I'm feeling, and like I said, they listen and they're there for me. And sometimes I just need someone near me, or someone to listen to me, or someone to freaking hold me. That's the most valuable thing, is people who get it and people who want to help. Another thing that sometimes kind of helps me is audio therapy, like really soothing music. Some nice calm jazz music or classical piano music helps. Sometimes ASMR helps, if you're unfamiliar with that. I don't remember what the letters stand for, but it's basically sounds that make you feel good, and it varies from person to person about what kind of sounds you like. But for me, it's people's voices. It tends to be whispering voices or just soothing breathing sounds, usually the voice of a woman. I don't make what you want of that, but that helps a bit sometimes. There's a YouTube channel called JellybeanASMR. I'll put a link in the description. I've found her work to be very, very relaxing for some reason. Another thing I do that sometimes helps me is writing, because I'm a writer by passion, I guess. And sometimes that helps to just get something on paper, usually whatever dark thing that's trapped in my mind. If I can get that on paper, then that helps. But it's not always easy, because like I said, it messes with my motivation, so sometimes I don't feel any desire to write. There's so many options, and so many of them don't work most of the time. It's very, very frustrating. I think to kind of conclude things here, to wrap it up, the important thing to remember is that people who are depressed, they don't want to hurt you. If they constantly bail on hanging out with you, or they avoid social occasions or anything, that's because they're scared. It's because they don't want to show you how much it sometimes hurts to just wake up in the morning. They don't want to spread something that they see as a sickness. At least that's how I see it. Is there's something wrong with me, and I don't want to burden you with that. So I'll just stay inside in the dark by myself where it's safe. We want to hide it and pretend to be normal, but if we can't, if we're too scared that people will see what's wrong with us, then we'll just hide and stay inside. But if you can see someone like that for who they are, if you can accept their problems and then see what amazing things they have to offer, because everybody has something to offer, then they'll be okay. They'll get a little better each and every day. They'll get just a tiny bit better, and that helps so much. It becomes bearable with people who love you. That's the key, is surrounding yourself with people who love you. And every person has so many people who care about them. It's unbelievable, and we're so rarely fully aware of it, how many people are there for us. So with that in mind, I'm gonna put some links down below for help with depression, professional help, forums and online communities, because mental health awareness is becoming a very big thing now. So I'm gonna try to contribute to that as best I can. So with all that in mind, if any of you out there watching have any of these sorts of problems, if any of you suffer from depression or any similar sorts of problems and have something to say, any comment to make on anything I've said here today, please feel free to comment. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel, Lazy Alien. We do lots of stuff. Not all of them are depressing vlogs. So there's a really funny Godzilla review series. Check it out. I'm really proud of it. But to close out, once again, my name is Kevin. My channel is Lazy Alien. Feel free to check us out, and I'm out.